Public on agenda items only. We will entertain individuals with 3 minutes. Is there anyone from?
Yes, ordinance 715. I still have some trepidation in reference to this ordinance, and I'm not 100% sure whether there is a conditional use permit is in order at this time. A conditional use permit is something already structured and what have you, and they need to make repairs or correct those things. And secondly, where I really have some problems, this council does not and have not seen any minutes. This council has not been privileged to the zoning board, giving you a report and making a recommendation. And thirdly, the charter says anyone, and also the ordinance 1123.05, what have you, and if you deviate from the norms that has been already set up, and what have you, and you do not follow the norms, there's a penalty. And so I want you to be mindful of that. It's in it deals with the ordinance as well. I read the order from the clerk, from the law director, what have you, her opinion, and someone just handed me something else, what is a conditional use permit. And that use permit, the zoning where that the Salvation Army wants is a U1 and a U2 zoning area and a U3. And what they need to do, and for this ordinance, should be a U4. To move it to U4, that takes in recreation and all the other religious things. A religious entity can be put in any U1, U2, U3, U4, or U5. Some religious things, and also the educational portion of it. But in this particular zone, it is a U1 and a U2 zone. And that's what.
Thank you.
And if you do it otherwise, I'm going to do what I have to do.
Okay.
And let no one you can't change the child.
Is there anyone else that like to, from the audience, residents, like to speak on items? You are the council person. Yeah. Is there anyone else? Can you come up and have something to tell me about? What you said on items only? Agenda items, I'm sorry. You can do that at the end. Sorry. Had some more for me.
We'll move on to minutes to approve.
Yes. Minutes to be approved.
The executive committee meeting January 29, 2015.
Madam Chairman, I move that the executive committee meeting minutes dated January 29, 2015 be approved.
Your second?
Second.
Is there any discussion on this? Hearing none, move on.
Councilor King?
Yay.
Councilor Baker?
Yay.
Councilor Martin?
Yay.
Councilor Thomas?
Yeah.
Chair approved.
Okay.
Legislation. Resolution number 0715. Resolution granting a conditional use permit pursuant to sections of the East Cleveland Codified Ordinances 1123.03 small a, large a, 1123. Small a, large c, 1123.03 small a, large p, 1123.03 small a, large n, and 1123.03 small b, to the Salvation Army to operate a community center building, a center of assembly, worship, recreation, and education in the U1 and U2 district at the Salvation Army Corps Community Center, 1570 Doane Avenue, 1604 Doane Avenue, and 1644 Doane Avenue, and declaring an emergency.
Councilor Mansell Baker, this is sponsored by you, co-sponsored by Councilman Nathaniel Martin. What is your pleasure?
Madam Chair, I sponsor resolution 07-15. I move for its adoption with discussion and amendment.
Um,
I second the motion.
okay, it has been second. Discussion?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Wait a minute.
I would like to clarify the document I gave Mr. O'May. So you had me wondering what was going on with the zoning and conditional use variances. So since last Thursday, I spent some time talking to a couple lawyer friends, a couple lawyers, did a little research, and property and zoning is governed at the city level. The state level supersedes city ordinances, city zoning, and then the federal zoning supersedes them all. Now, under the federal zoning, which I gave you, they allow for a variance or a conditional use to be put in without changing the zoning, so that, and it mentions this in the paperwork that I gave you, so that religious organizations can come in, get a conditional use permit without having to go through changing the zoning. Now, it says in there that they have to have a public meeting. The BZA board had a public meeting. They came before council and they talked about the BZA meeting and the need for why they needed the conditional use, and also that our city is one of the very few cities that makes it a non-administrative process. So it's all there that I gave you. So I wanted you to feel comfortable in what we were doing, and our lawyer actually gave us a written testament that we are actually on legal plane. So everything's fine. I wanted you to understand that. I gave you the document. I want everyone else here to understand that everything's fine.
To the council, we have to go by the charter and the ordinance that we have here, not by somebody else's. We are home rule city, and our rules dictate that we have that authority. The charter gives us that authority under the
The
state.
state supersedes the city, and then the federal
The
government.
state say also,
The
statute
federal
is in
government.
there by the
Okay.
state.
I want
Thank you
to,
for the piece I got.
I want to,
Same thing.
say to my colleague, I appreciate, the investigation that tells me that you're doing your job. Number one, when I referred to my law director, the law director came back with her opinion. Not only that, Mr. Bombalis, who is the engineer, also certified that we were in compliance. Now, if there is any other doubt or concern, then that has to be taken up outside, and our law director will handle that situation. But until then, we will be moving on to deal with the resolution and finish the discussion that my colleague, Mr. Mansell, wanted to deal with. Are you all right with what is happening?
He's not an engineer,
Well, housing inspector.
and so therefore it has to be an engineer.
Are you satisfied to vote, colleague Mansell Baker? Or do you wish to say something else?
I'll stress at this point, I'm over appreciative of the hard work, Ms. Kyle and her team, and the fact that, the Salvation Army, out of many cities they could have chosen, they did choose to want to start a project of this magnitude in the city of East Cleveland. Careful before you get it up while you're talking, while I'm talking. Yes. Okay.
Mr. Mayor, please.
Just respect that fact that
Please.
that's all.
Nice.
Thank you.
Please.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Be quiet. I really respect the fact that you guys did choose East Cleveland, and I'm appreciative of the services that it will provide in the long run. The red tape I can probably not entertain at this point. I just really want to see a service and a structure that can be satisfactory to our environment.
Is there any more discussion? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I wanted to say is, I've been supportive of this project from day one, and I am a co-sponsor. It's brought to our attention that no minutes, the zoning board of appeal and all like that, but we're not going to hold this project up because it's a very important project. One of the things that we suffer from right now in the great city of East Cleveland is investment. You're willing to invest in our city, and we appreciate that. So I'm voting in favor of this project. The U4 and all the issues that come up, we also got a legal opinion from the law director. So thank you for your patience. This is democracy in action. It doesn't work fast, but most of the time it works well when the spirit and the intention is going in the right direction. I'm going to thank all, Belinda and all of them who helped bring this about. You guys were coming back and forth and all that. So I came here specifically tonight to vote for this, and then I'm going to leave. I see my buddy over there. Good to see him tonight. So I'm in favor of the project, and thank you. Okay. And I'm looking forward to going to the facility and being involved in the activities. Thank you.
I have the information here that we should have.
If you don't have to read it, if you don't have to, because it's up to you.
Well, no, I want to clear up any misconception about anything. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but the Board of Zoning Appeal meeting minutes located in room 215, and it was December 10th at 11 a.m. And on the agenda was the Salvation Army, and there was quite a motioning done. Motion to accept this was done by Captain Wheeler, second by Mr. Wilcox, and in additional information and discussion followed. I just wanted to make sure that, well, it should have been attached, so you could have dealt with it, and there would not been any misconception or hidden agenda to this. Okay?
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Madam President. At this point, I guess all that has been said, all that could be said, has been said. I've spoken up positively about this project for well over a year, and I think anything more from me positive would jinx it at this point, so I just like Councilman Ball.
Okay. Mantel?
Ms. Hill.
I think you have to go to bathroom. That's what
We'll take a few seconds till he comes back, and we'll continue with the meeting.
Where you at now?
Consulting for the sewer district.
Oh, okay. Good seeing you.
Good to be seen, thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I'd appreciate if you wait until they vote, that's all.
I have to go where Councilman Mark said. He's gonna be late, I'll be on time.
You should be on late on that, and if you walk out the door, you should stay walking. You can't stay here and hear what the citizens have to say. He calls you to be here, and you continue to let him walk out of here like this.
We'll take care of that. Don't worry, we'll take care of it.
You need to keep walking. And take the car and let him walk on the back wherever he lives. That's total disrespect. You don't make a copy of that, whatever you did. You should have had it before.
Where did he go?
Deal with something.
He went to the restaurant.
You making some
He went
copies?
what?
He's making copies.
Yes.
Who's making?
Mansell.
You kinda got teed off on it.
There he is.
Let the record reflect that the Councilor Bacon has returned.
Bacon?
Baker has returned to council. Okay, we can do roll call. Thank you very
Take
much.
the vote.
Yes.
Counselor King,
Yay.
Counselor Baker, Counselor Martin.
Yay.
Counselor Thomas,
Yay.
ayes have it. Resolution number 0715 passes.
Okay.
Madam President, I need to be excused.
Yes, thank you. And, I want to make it known that, Councilor Wheeler, asked to be excused also.
He's the only smart one out of the bunch.
No, he ain't.
What?
He
He's
can
real
vote.
smart.
Oh,
If the city gets ready to go on a deficit, he leaving the meeting.
Okay, hearing and conduct and scheduling. There are none. Reports and announcements from the mayor, apparently, let it be.
Look, Counselor Wheeler.
Okay, let the record reflect that, the mayor had another engagement and he had to leave. Old business. New business. Receipts of communication and petitions. Did we receive any petitions or anything? Communication?
Communication from the law department should be reflected here regarding resolution 07-15.
That was received 2 weeks ago, that was already in.
Was it on the agenda? Let's receive the communication.
That was on the, we received communication 2 weeks ago on the other.
On what? I didn't see it. Make sure it's reflected on
You
this.
made it, huh? Congratulations. I had just excused you. All right, moving right along, this has been a good meeting. Reports of council. Councilman, King,
Pardon me?
reports. You know, that's what happens when you're holding 2 or 3 side communications. Okay? Reports of the council. Mr. King,
I'll yield.
why are you yielding? You don't have a report?
What? I do, but most of the people heard the report last Thursday.
I entertained some young students. He doesn't have a report either.
Okay, I'll give you a report. My committee met last Thursday. Many of you were here. We discussed some new things that we're working on, including moving forward with the second piece of the rental property registration and permit. So we have some new students who are going to be working up the actual parameters of what that's going to look like so far as a 2-family up to, say, a unit with 12 or 18 rental properties, fees, penalties. Apologize for that. And they're going to put it so that we can look at it in a legislative form and compare the different cities that are currently doing it for best practices. That's one of the things we're looking at. And the second one was the ban on flavored tobacco, which we're working on through Case Western Reserve, and my leader, Stanley Miller, is here, who's on a committee down there with me aboard. So those are some exciting things that the General Services and Administration Committee is working on.
That's why I pressed this, because it was a second part to the first part, the continuation, and I'm really proud to see that our students are coming through and they are sitting down and they're collaborating with Mr. King and my liaison, who is acting as liaison, the clerk, and I'm really excited about it because they came up with some good stuff. And that means that we have not forgotten our students and their higher education is not only going to benefit them, but it's also benefiting our city. Thank you. Councilman King. Councilman Mansell Baker.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members of the public, thank you for your attendance tonight. Again, congratulations to the Salvation Army on the conditional use passage tonight. I'd also like to acknowledge one of my former students, Ronald Massey, and his attendance tonight. Mr. Massey is a former student at Shaw High School. He was in the criminal justice program there. He went on to do great things within his academic endeavors and also his employment endeavors, and hopefully one day he can join the ranks of law enforcement in the community of East Cleveland or Cleveland.
Be the next mayor.
I would like to acknowledge that our ward will be taking some serious jumps towards restructuring how we do business. We're going to take a different approach at how we have meetings and also how we inform the community as a whole. And I want our ward to be the spearheader of that type of that specific initiative. So I'll roll that out to you guys in the next coming weeks. Wanted to acknowledge my colleague right here, Mr. Wheeler, on all his dedication thus far, man. I really appreciate his advice. It's really doing council a justice to work cohesively with one another. That concludes my report. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Councilman Vice President Wheeler.
Good evening, everyone. I apologize for my delay being here today. We will definitely next month, or this month, a Health and Safety Committee meeting. The weather hopefully starts turning this way. I'll be out more out and about. Just a couple of little side notes though. We thought we were going to get snow plows and we did. Today it was icy and I saw the trucks out there putting down salt. I was bored, but I was happy because some of the streets were just a sheet of ice. They said we would make payroll, and we did. So all things are possible. And if we just work together, I'm sure we can get through this. I'll have it in the committee meeting, but from my understanding, we'll be getting a new fire truck soon as well. So those are great things. So we'll get it posted in another week or so that you all know about the Health and Safety Committee meeting, and look forward to everybody being there. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Vice President. I think there was a little clarity last meeting about the appropriations, and I had my clerk to pull the executive committee meeting minutes, and she did, and the appropriations were for a 2-month period. We voted and we passed a 2-month budget. From there, the city, in order to be in compliance with the intent of administration, being able to continue to spend appropriations beyond January 31st, as ordinance 6414, even though the funds were accounted for in a 2-month budget, in the tax, we made sure at the end of that date that legislation stated that the administration had the authority to spend funds through February 28th. Also, I took it upon myself to have the clerk prepare a new temporary appropriations legislation to reflect the new dates ending, to ensure that the city could continue running and have a proper authority through legislation. What I also want to say, that as chair of the Finance Committee, I have, and I got kudos from my Vice President today, that I have attended just about every finance meeting that was conducted or called from the auditors and the commission, even before I became the council president. And having brought forth all the information, followed the monies, as Mr. Struthers always said, we are now able to say what's in the bank and what's not in the bank. We do not give authorization to administration if the money is not in the bank that we are trying to pass. Also, I wanted to make sure that everybody understood that in appropriations under the charter, the mayor shall submit an estimate proper to the council. At least 300 copies thereof shall be printed for distribution to citizens who may call for them. Copies of the estimate shall also be furnished to newspapers of the city and of 2 newspapers having the largest circulation in Cuyahoga County, and the public library in the city and East Cleveland. This is what is supposed to take place before we, the council, can pass and look at the appropriations. And if we get the appropriation of estimate, therefore, we're supposed to go over it, and if we find anything that is not in proper order or not where it's supposed to be, or is over or is not coinciding with the certificate of resource, then we will be pointing that out. That is the appropriation part of the charter. I just want to make it clear that we don't run around looking at stuff. It's brought to us first by the administration, then we view it, we look at it, and we pass it. In this case, we did not get an estimate from the mayor. What we did get was from the auditors and in conjunction with the finance director and myself, and we were able to pass a temporary budget. So I want to clear all of that up and make sure that everyone understood that there was a 2-month budget. We passed in this last council meeting the budget, and now the budget is coinciding with the certificate of resources. So we are in good shape. And I also would like to say that we have looked at the CDBG funds, and my clerk ran around this morning and got everything together. So we will be able to, under the CDBG system, be able to get a fire truck for the fire truck. And there's other things that we can do. And I also would like to say that our city can flourish and be accomplished things that need to be done. I don't know if anybody have read, but our city applied for what, $900,000, $950,000 for the what is it?
County demolition funds.
County demolition funds. That means that basically you will have more land. More land. And what I'm saying is, once you have more land, you will be able to work it yourself. All you need is good leadership. Good leadership that says, go out and get an economic development plan together and develop. We had an NSP down by Lakeview, and it was supposed, there were plans for that part of East Cleveland to be rehabbed. Now I'm looking for that to happen, and I still am thinking that East Cleveland can flourish. It just needs the proper kind of leadership. And that means creativity, things that you want to happen, you need to happen here in the city of East Cleveland. What is missing from here? The old plans that was once put forth, and see where things is going. You got GE sitting up on the hill. You got all these good things that you can deal with. And I am saying that there is no need for East Cleveland to go anywhere or be included in anybody else's mess. Thank you. Moving right along. Okay. Remarks and requests of the public. These remarks and requests of the public can be, any topic can be spoken on.
Time frame.
3 minutes, and we're out of here. Your time starts now, Mr. O'May.
Well, I just wait until you recognize me. Number one, thank you for this info. This info refers you back, same thing I just told you, about your local ordinance and charter. That's what it says here in this piece that you gave me, what it says, and which each of you took an oath to uphold the ordinance and the charter of the city of East Cleveland. And that is not being done, and I understand, and I'm just saying you can't take someone else's ordinance and apply it to us. We have our own, we are a home rule city. Number two, our ordinance further states, and the charter further states that if anything contrary to the ordinance that has been established and the charter, the norms that's set there, that there's a 6-month jail time and $1,000 fine. That's what it says. So I'm just putting you on notice when you deviate from those things. And it further states here, and I have no problem of them getting the thing. I wanted to do I want to do what is right. And when you do things that are right, it doesn't come back to bite you in the posterior, which has happened in this city so many times. People not following the rules and regulations. That is, they raised their hand and swore that they would do so. That's what has happened. That has been the history of the city. And I can speak on that and speak emphatically because of the fact that I was one of the ones when all of the hullabaloo broke loose in here and people went to jail, FBI was visiting them. They never visited me. And they said, well, why about you have another councilman at Old Maids? Why? He said, we'll shut him down in council because he's going to ask questions and he's not going to vote for it. I read that green book. I know that green book. I know the ordinance and the charter of the city of East Cleveland. So I kept saying to you, then you're going to take some minutes tonight after you done had people out here time and time again, didn't have the minutes, didn't have a presentation from the BZA board, and then you got a person on there is not an engineer, that the charter says an engineer, and the ordinance says an engineer, not no housing inspector, and what have you. So an engineer. I know my time is up.
Time is up.
We can holler when
Thank you.
time is up.
Councilman Irby, 140 Elm Street. To make light of a comment that was said, city planner, community development, your mayor. This is what we voted. I don't know how we keep letting a position that's supposed to be held and supposed to be done right slip away. It's not fair. Now you want to bring these people in here, you want to tell them that, oh, the land's going to be beautiful, we're going to keep it up. How? You got a community development person that's not here. You have a mayor that's not here. And you want us to represent and tell these people that it's okay, we're going to do it right. You're not going to do it right. Because if you let him walk out of here, it's not fair for us. It's not fair for them. It's not fair for our families. It's not fair at all. And then to sit back and listen to Mr. Wheeler and say, salt trucks came out. Where the salt? Nothing in the dome. You got an empty truck rolling down Euclid. You got an empty truck. You got one truck left. Y'all keep bringing people here and you don't have the equipment, you don't have the training, you don't have it. You got chuck holes that ain't filled.
Oh, Lord.
It's time. Rain, you can still fill. You can order it. Budget. We got a budget, but where's the finance records for the budget? You want to talk about a bank account? What's in it? We can keep asking, but what's in it? You have no financial persons here tonight to tell us what's in it. What's in it? Zero. From where we stand, it's zero. And you're going to ask these people here to come in and give more, so take and give. We fire truck. I'd like to see a nice fire first. Give me one. There's nothing here. Bring a truck for what? You can't use it? It's a waste. Order another truck. What you need? You need another truck. You need staff. You don't have it. Mr. Smedley said it last night. 18 people, 10 down to 10. What you want to do with the other 10? You ready to force them out the door? We got nothing left.
Thank you.
My name is Ronald Massey. My remarks was towards Mr. King and what you were saying that you wanted to do for the youth. I understand that what you are doing, and no disrespect to you, what you are doing is good for the youth, but what percentage of those youth are you going to pick out? How are you going to pick that youth out? Where will you go to pick them? Because are they the students that's just getting A's and B's? What about the kids at home with when their parents aren't there? The kids that do have those D's and those F's? Where will we start bringing those kids up and stop worrying about the ones that only got the A's and B's? When I was in high school, they only came and offered me good things because I had good grades. But I never seen them offering my friends that just didn't get the opportunities that I did. You're talking about working with this guy to stop flavored tobacco. That's not the issue. The issue is the stores in East Cleveland selling the tobacco to the youth.
That's right.
So before we can teach the youth about flavored tobacco or stopping the flavored tobacco, first we got to get our gas stations to stop selling it to them.
That's great.
How can we ever build up our youth or teach the youth about property if we don't even have property to teach them about? Ain't no property here. Wymore, when you go down Wymore in the back of this in the back by this washing machine place, the laundromat, it's full of trash right there in the middle of the street. Now I know we got a dump truck to at least push the trash off of the street to where the citizens can drive down the street, y'all. And I'm not blaming y'all because I understand that y'all can't do everything. But where I do fault y'all at is because I feel like you guys are adults. And I've never seen adults. For one, you said leadership. Leadership isn't late, sir, and I apologize, but leadership doesn't come late. We're on time when we lead. No matter what other agenda we have, we're willing to put that aside and say, hey, my city is in a deficit. I gotta go. We talking about leadership. You guys sit up here and gossip about things while we're in the midst of a meeting. If y'all meeting with each other and really working together, y'all should have had enough time to complicate and talk all of those things out before y'all got here. So when y'all did get here, all y'all on the same page and y'all ready to really get the corporate out, who's